Week 7 of the F45 challenge completed, and thank God, because I don't want to do this week again.
Are you gonna make it happen today? Or will you just settle for another delay? Come on, you gotta make it happen now. Come on, you gotta make it happen now. Sit.
So this week I was entering what was called the World Series phase. It's a little bit like a ketosis style diet, and therefore I've spent the week Googling ketosis and what that means, which is a bit overwhelming. So the idea being that you switch from using carbs as an energy source to having increased levels of fat in your diet and higher protein, and therefore your body will then start to use the fat it's got in order to give you an energy source. You have to get to sort of under 50 grams of carbs a day for ketosis is generally what I found when I was researching. And that is low. And I think there are different levels. You can do sort of more of a liberal low carb plan, which is between sort of 50 and 100. But given that I'm doing this challenge, I really wanted to do it properly. I thought kind of my carb level would already be quite low. I didn't realise that carbs are in basically everything, and that's been really hard. Thankfully, I get my meals delivered at the moment, so Function Fit Food put this plan together for me, and they've managed to still come up with sort of delicious concoctions despite there being no carbs. I think if it was me doing it, I would now be at just having like chicken and eggs. The other thing I have found is that I'm just not hungry, and at times I've actually had to force myself to eat the meals when I just didn't want them, or some days I've just thought, well, I'm just going to have less. When I go do my classes, I normally really give it my all, really throw myself into it. And I found that I've been tired, and I found that really annoying because I love sort of going for it. And I've been going to bed at like 9:30 and falling asleep straight away, sleeping like a solid 8.5 hours each night, but I'm still tired. Apparently a lot of people find that with ketosis they actually have increased energy. Maybe if you did it for long enough you would find that. I'm only doing it for the end 2 weeks of this, so I'm not sure I will get to that stage. I think for me it's not sustainable, and it's probably not a way I would want to live. You know, I plan to eat bread again, I plan to have pasta. So for me, I wouldn't keep that element going, whereas the diet for the rest of the time has been absolutely fine. I've still done 6 classes this week, which is good. And I even had one day where I doubled up because I was away for the weekend. And I find that I'm trying to lift heavier. I can generally do more in my classes, but I've felt it this week. Just finished my double session. Shattered. I want to say I'm going home to a glass of wine and a bar of chocolate, but I'm not. High fat, high protein meal, probably bed at about 8 o'clock. Sounds great. The thing that is great about ketosis, or has been great for me this week, has been that I've managed to lose 1.4 kilograms this week, which is about 3 pounds. For me, normally 7 weeks into a diet or a change of eating plan, I wouldn't lose that amount of weight. I think my body would start to plateau, or you normally get big dramatic losses at the start, which often is to do with water weight. So for me, it's quite a lot to lose that at this point, which is encouraging. I still wouldn't keep going with it in the longer term. I think there has to be balance in life, and I'm not sure for me that is worth it.
Breakfast is now a lot of eggs for this week.
Other things I've done this week are, you'll see my step counter is still on my wrist. Today, for the first time in forever, I've brought out my step counter. And this is really good for seeing sort of how inactive I actually was during lockdown. It's lunchtime, I'm only on 3,000 steps. You're meant to do sort of 10,000 a day. And this is kind of the sedentary life that I've now got when I'm working from home. So shows how important it is to actually get out and do some exercise. All I'm doing is the 45-minute classes, and the rest of my time I'm working from home. I basically walk around my flat. Maybe I'll pop down to the shops, but it really is hard to hit that 10,000 steps when you're sort of still working from home. When I was going into the office, that wasn't hard to do. So I do think that has made me a bit more aware. Next week, I am still in the World Series phase, so I will still be having very low carb levels. I cannot wait for that bit to be finished, but really intrigued to see the results. So yeah, one more week to go.